So, here's how this is going to work. If you guys go into Canvas, you should see two things that are left on your to-do list. If you turned in your presentation, I graded that. There's a rubric. It counted as a group thing. So like one of you turned in a Google slide or a PowerPoint. Everybody should have got the rubric and the grade in there. The other grade in PowerSchool was from you individually presenting. Okay, so there's 2 grades in PowerSchool that showed up. All of yours should be in. Now what we're going to do first is the debrief. So it says HR 106 simulation debrief. Go to that. And it just has one little line that says, you as a group, even the people who are not here today, need to get in on this. One person, not Shawnee, make a copy of this document, share it with access to edit to whoever's in your team. If somehow you forgot, their name's on the backboard. Everyone on your team needs access to edit, even if they're not present today. Every second period it conspires against us. I don't know why. Yeah, so your group should have one shared copy you can all edit that looks like this. It's got 6 questions or so. This is going to help you, A, reflect on what you did and how well you did it. And B, the final test, so to speak, of the Armenian Genocide. You guys have not had an opportunity to say what you really think. Who picked the team that you worked for in all of this? You. I did. Now, some of you it fit your personality, some of you very much did not. That's the nature of the beast. And sometimes you learn more when you get plugged into a perspective you don't agree in. But when we're done with this, what you get to decide is, what do you think? This is going to help you decide that and reflect on how you did. And then we're going to write President Obama a letter. Okay? So, just because some people are gone, what we're going to do is I'm going to pass these around. In fact, when we're done today, I'm going to have my teacher aide scan all of these and email them to everybody. So if your group members aren't here and they go, I wasn't here, I couldn't do it, there's going to be this video on YouTube of me talking to you, and then I'm going to send them all of these so they can see everything that your feedback form said. So if they show back up and say, I didn't turn that in, they have no excuse. Okay, so the way this will work is we'll start at one side. You only look at 2 things. Your group's section, wherever that is, and what they said at the end. I will sit at the very end of the circle and tally the votes on HR 106 and the amendment itself to decide who won. You are going to look at what they say about your group, and some of you, your names will show up on the individual question, like at the end it says what group really stood out to you. Some of you got shout outs there. It also said who was an individual who really stood out as effective and persuasive. Some of you will get a shout out there. Their feedback is going to help you answer these questions. Now here's the catch. Okay, you're each going to turn this in, but you should all be typing on it. So you might be partners with someone next to you and have a different answer. Like Anna might say the single thing we could have improved was something with the cookie analogy. Okay, one of my things I would offer is clarifying exactly what you were showing, because I knew what you meant. I don't know if your audience did. That's why we're going to read these. Okay, but maybe Clarissa, who's in the same exact group, says, well, maybe that, but I thought this other thing. Sorry. I don't know why I do that to you, Rachel. I'm going to do it again today. I just feel it. So let me apologize for the future time I call you by your sister's name. If Rachel's in the same group but says, nope, I think there's one other thing we could have improved that would have made a bigger difference, there's room for you guys to write your own perspective on it. Okay? Everybody turns it in when we're done. Then what we're going to do is write President Obama a letter. So I'm going to explain that really fast. Just because people are gone and I just want one clean video to give them. Okay? The other assignment in there said letter to POTUS Obama, that just stands for President of the United States. Next week's kind of a funky schedule for us. The Aspire, or whatever the sophomore test is called, is going to be all morning on Tuesday. And then Tuesday afternoon is kind of like do what you want time. So it's one of those days you don't really go to class. So Monday would be a weird day to start something new. We're going to start something new next Wednesday because I have a fun block day planned for you. So here's what we're going to do Monday. You're going to have a draft, rough, first draft, of a letter to President Obama. I thought that was a fitting picture because I think that's what his reaction would be if we called him up and said, what do you think about this, President Obama? Looking at the calendar, April 24th is a week and a half away. What do you think? I think he'd make that face. Okay? You get to decide as an individual. Forget your group. Forget what I made you present. Forget what the neighbor next to you thinks. What do you think he should do in his speech? You basically have two options. G word or no G word. What should he do? You are his boss. He works for you. Okay? There is a sample of how to format a business letter, and there are 2 student examples of their rough draft. So they're not formatted right, but they're really well written. Every year, at least one student has gotten one back. So last year, Caleb Griffin got the letter that's behind Obama's picture right there. You can read it anytime you want. The year before that, when the current seniors were in here, Brina Jones got one back. And going back beyond that, I don't remember. But someone always gets a letter back, which I can say I've never gotten a letter from the president. And some of my students have, so I'm jealous. You're going to say what you think he should do. Here's the basic layout of a letter to him. Okay? First paragraph. Who are you and why are you writing me this letter? That's what you should tell him. Second paragraph. What do you want me to do? Third paragraph. Why should I do it? Okay, so really simply, first paragraph. I'm Bob Smith. I'm a sophomore at Big Piney High School. It's a small town in western Wyoming. And in my world history class, we studied the Armenian Genocide for a couple of weeks. He now knows why you're writing him. Second paragraph. I want you to call it genocide on April 24th. You said you would, but you haven't so far. So in your speech on that day, you need to use strong language and call it genocide. Okay, that's what I want him to do. Now, third paragraph. Here's why you should. Reason A, B, and C. Okay, if you want to see, I thought I put a link in here. I went and found some exact quotes from his speeches as a senator where he said, I will call it genocide. If those don't show up for some reason, I'll fix it. But I thought I plugged them in there. I'll get it in there. So that you can take that if you want to use that against him and say, you said on this day these exact words. Why haven't you done that? That's a pretty powerful thing. So by Sunday night, you turn in a draft of that. We're going to get on it today. Okay, when you turn it in on Monday, it's going to plug in 2 people to peer review yours. So you log into Canvas, it'll say you have 2 peer reviews. You do those, I look at it, then we print it out and mail it Monday. Tuesday, take our test. Wednesday, come back and we're going to start with the League of Nations. Okay, so our job today is analyze the feedback in our circle and then draft a letter to him of whatever you think he should say. Turn it into Canvas by Sunday night.